Hello once again. Welcome to my sixth tutorial, and it's about building of forms. And to build forms straightforward, we start using the opening and closing tag as usual. Form. Let's say that you want to build a registration form, right? A student registration form, something like that. Form. Okay, let me use the student. By the student. Sorry, student registration form. Okay, now I've created two tags. These two tags means we are creating a form. It's telling the browser to create a form. Now in creating the form, we have an input tag, right? Input, sorry, input, and we close the input tag. And sometimes you can even write it as this, just like that. Okay, and in input tags, in the input tag we have attributes. We will have the submit button, or just button. We have in the input tag we have placeholder. These are all attributes and elements. We have value, we have the name and order. So I prefer you go through the internet, the web, Google, and see the attributes and the elements that you can use in a form. But these are the main things that I'll be using. And of course we have a text area. All right, okay, these are the main things that I'll be using. Okay, let's create a form. Let me give the heading first. uh, say h let me use h2 student registration form. All right, if you haven't learned about the header tags, which is the h1 and h2, h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6, you can go to my third tutorial, second tutorial, I think so, second tutorial, and you know more about header tags. All right, okay, so now let's start. I'll use label, and I'll label my first entry as name, and first name. Right, first name. I can make it capital letters or small letters depending on your preference. Then you close the label tags. All right, okay, and under it, let's let's use the input tag. We open an input tag, and under the in the input tag we'll write type, which is text, then the name, or you can say placeholder, which is the text. Okay, first name, right? Let's say write first name here. Okay, or first name, let me keep it short. First name. Okay, first name. All right, this is more interesting. Then under it, let's open our label and write second name label, then close the label tag. All right, the input type, we say it's a text, and the placeholder, we could say um, second name. Right, sorry, let me use the right word. Surname can be surname or second name. All right, surname, and let me delete this one. All right, sure. Now this the first name, second name. All right, let me give another label where I'll write something like address, address label. All right, and here I write text area, text area, close the tag. Then I'll use a couple of some elements that I didn't introduce from in the beginning of this tutorial. All right, I'll use select option, select tag. Let me close it. Select tag, and in the select we give option. All right, let me close the option. So let's label this one. Label it. I'm having added column so that it gives it a professional look. All right, option. Let's say the label. Let's say that is it a male or female? So yeah, gender or sex. You close it. The right label. All right. Then you create what? Let's come back to the option. And we write male or female. All right, I hope you do understand up to this moment. Yeah, this is the select tag, and in the select tag we have options. So it's telling you to select an option. So the moment you see a select tag, you know that there's an option coming on. All right, then that's one thing. Let me give another one. We have another select option. We have it as okay, I think I'll put in a later tutorial when you are getting more into depth. And let's submit the form. Input type, right, submit. All right, and what value do you want to give it? Let's say submit registration form. All right, let me now, you see that having added the break line in added, so let's see how it's going to represent in the web page. Okay, let me open it with a kite slow a little. I've been using it since morning. All right, give me a minute. All right, you can see how it has come displayed in the web page. Everything is on one line because I haven't added the break line and the what the break line and other next line tags. Okay, all right, so let's make it more presentable. First we start with put the line break over here. text area. Alright, here. Okay, gender, and this one. Alright, let's see how it's going to be. Alright, let me save it and let me refresh it. Okay, it's not exactly what I want, but we can add another break line to every break line. I hope you get a concept. This is how you build a form. This is basically how you build a form. Going forward, we'll be talking about check boxes. Check boxes. Right. Check boxes and radius and path and radius. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. This is basically, I haven't used any CSS, so it's kind of raw, but like this is better than the first one that I presented. Okay, you see the checkbox has a default dimension. This one too, we can make it big and large by adding an attribute called column, which is spelled calls here. Let's give it 16, and the rows, let's give it what, something like 10. All right. Okay, now you can see that columns and rows. Columns here refers to you are increasing the horizontal line. Let's see. You are increasing the horizontal line here. So if I'm putting 16, then it means that I have to find a larger, get a larger horizontal view of what I'm writing. Okay, text area, and that's rows, and rows, that will be the opposite, rows here. Then if I'm giving 10, then that means I to go vertically. So I've mapped up this thing. Let me scan it again, save, and okay, refresh. I've refreshed. You see how it has although you could do everything, it sets the default size to something like this. Let me refresh it again. All right, set something, the default value this way. Now you might ask, what am I doing? So okay, now let's try and fill the form. My name is Eric, and Fiona, let's say Kojo. All right, I am address Aula Street. All right, in the mail, I'm a mail, and I submit, and it goes. Okay, you can even specify an empty option here that will appear first, so that it looks more professional. Right. Okay, let me scan it. All right, so let's see. Eric Kojo Aula Street, then what, mail, submit form, and everything goes back to where it's supposed to be. Now this is the first part of creating a form in HTML. Let me try and explain some things here. You could see a close to that. a placeholder at the first name. Placeholder means that what is written here will appear here, but you could see that the moment the way it is like a faint text and it's at the background, it doesn't hold anything, just hold the place. So I can start writing A D, you understand me, and everything vanishes. I can start writing C V and everything vanishes. All right, let me try and use value in place of what, the placeholder. All right, let me try something different. Okay, you could see that there's a difference. Look at the value. The value, it has given us something substantial other than just a faint text, and it doesn't vanish. This is what it is. So it's like that's what the input hold. 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 So here you could see the difference between a placeholder and a value. A placeholder just gives you a faint text and it doesn't hold anything other than just the place. But the value element hold hold the hold the name, hold the input. So it's like there's something substantial in it, in this field, where you have to delete before you can write. Okay, when we advance in HTML and PHP, which I'll be doing very very soon, you would know the reason why and the usefulness of using a placeholder or a value. Now let's come here. Column, as I explained, the column is for the vertical and the rows is for the sorry, the rows is for the horizontal and the columns is for the sorry, the rows is for the vertical and the column is for the horizontal. So I can say 100. It looks bizarre. Let's see. Ouch. You see how it goes? So, and the same thing goes here. Let me say 900. Oops, there's something subtraction where we can see the ending. 100. All right. Oh, vertically long. So that's it. And this is a label. A label tells you what it's all about. Just you know how it is. A label of sugar and all that. Now let's let's go back to our previous settings. All right, and the select option gives you the option, and the option select option gives you what you want. So it gives you, let me scan it. All right, it gives you the male and the female. So it sounds easy, and it's very easy if you practice it. It's very easy if you practice it. And that's all I have on creating on forms part 1. I'll give you the part 2 where we had the checkboxes and radios. Okay, radios and checkboxes and uploading of file. Yeah, which okay, yeah, uploading of file. Okay. So that's more about creating a forms. You can try it, and definitely you'll get there. All right, goodbye.